Hello guys, so this is a bit of a different video in the fact of that it's more of a story time, which I have done in the past before, so it's not like totally something new. I've done story times before, but this one is a bit different. This is something that happened pretty recently, and I thought it would be important to share because it has to do with food and binge eating. And I thought since my channel is about eating disorders and all that, that it would be important to, sorry, I caught my head off. I thought it would be important to share with you this experience I had. So this story happened, well, it's not really, this experience, this event, whatever you want to call it, happened about a week ago, actually exactly a week ago, yes. So today is October 13th, aka my birthday. It is my birthday, but anyways, that's all. Anyways, back on track. So a week ago on Friday, I had a binge episode. And you guys know that I had a relapse with my eating disorder, but this time it wasn't as much anorexia eating habits, bad eating habits, as more as binge eating habits. And thank God that it has decreased. My binges have decreased. I started working on my nutrition more, and it might have happened like once a month of these binge episodes, and the last one was a week ago. So a week ago, I had a binge episode, and as you guys know that I had my relapse and stuff, things are much better now, so that is, I should probably make an update video talking about it, what I did, just all my experience, because I went from binging almost every day, sometimes even 4 days in a row, that was like the most, to not binging and finding a lifestyle. So so finding a lifestyle for myself that I could do and eat and be healthy and happy and more like stable instead of just like all over the place. But anyways, so this was the, I don't know what's wrong with my mouth today. Anyways, a week ago on Friday, I something triggered me. Oh, it was so I had a really bad week last week. Everything was not going my way. For the whole week, starting from Monday till Friday, and Friday finished off terribly. I had a huge binging episode, pretty bad one with a lot of junk food, because the last binges I tried having a lot of healthy foods in it, so I felt better, like whole grains and stuff. So I would eat even higher calorie foods like nuts and seeds and dried fruits, maple syrup, stuff like that, but it was healthier. But this time it was like ice cream, cookies, and not good stuff. And what triggered me was I was really stressed out, bad week. I opened my cupboard? Yeah, at our old house, and we were moving. We were supposed to be moving, so I was stressed out from that, and I was just like, you know what? This week sucked for me. This week was so bad for me, and we're moving, and there's these cookies. They were vegan cookies and vegan ice cream in the fridge that I need to clean out, and I'll just eat it so that it will be easier to move once we start moving, which is a stupid excuse. But you know, as people who binge eat, you will know that there are triggers that will trigger you, and usually it's emotional, and you try to make these excuses why you can binge and stuff, and that's what I did. I was like, I can totally binge. I had a horrible week. I am in a bad mood. I deserve this food. I need to clean out all this stuff anyways, because I don't want to eat blah, 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 blah. Like, it's not, all of those are horrible excuses, but it was what I used as my excuses. So I opened up the cupboard and I just started eating all the cookies, and I fast usually, so I try OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, and I usually eat at the end of the day once I'm done with everything. And I've been doing it for months, and it's good. But then I have sometimes my binge episodes, and I don't restrict calories or anything like that. I just have a time feeding window, which helps me a lot because then I could be productive during the day and not think about food all the time, which is something I struggle with. So anyways, I started eating all this cookies and junk food after my regular meal, because I had my healthy meals, but then I was just like, I wasn't hungry, I was just emotional, like, just like stuffing my face and stuff, and then I felt really, not really good, fell asleep, but I was just like, I'll just get back on track tomorrow. I woke up not feeling obviously good, and I was like, I need to go work out and stuff, but then I was already like, you know what? My week sucked. I don't want to do anything right. Like, I had lost complete motivation, and I was just like, I'm gonna go and eat more. My binge kind of started basically. I went, I went into the, I went into the, I went into the kitchen and started eating and stuff, and just kind of calming myself down. A lot of times with binge eating, you think that going and eating all that food is going to make you feel better, but honestly, it only makes you feel worse. Okay? And it robs you of your day, of being productive, of doing things. I had to go to work that evening and I felt awful, and I couldn't work properly, and good thing my coworkers and staff, the people there I work with, were super nice and let me kind of not do anything like too much that would, and they would give me tips and talk, and I told them about it, and it was nice, but like, just, I wish I wouldn't have binged. But anyways, I started eating the breakfast food. I started eating, I went to the workout place because like I'm gonna feel worse if I stay at home. So I worked out, went to Aldi, grabbed food that I would make, like pasta, and I was gonna make pasta with vegan meatballs and blah blah blah, all this stuff. Brought it home, made it, ate it, felt already sick and really full. But then I had more like cereal stuff, regular foods you binge on: cookies, cereal, pasta, bread, all of that. I had all of that. I tried to have it as healthy as possible, but it was definitely not one of my healthier binges that I had. And I wish I was, if I have binges on healthier food, I really do, I recover easier, and I feel better. So definitely, if like that helps me out. I hate binging on junk food because I feel horrible. I try to pick better food so then I won't feel as bad, but still, that doesn't, binges are binges. So anyways, back to the story. Because this story ends pretty badly. So I go to work, 5 o'clock, I start work, so I had to go. I felt awful. I wore a huge baggy hoodie, even though it was like 90 degrees outside, because my stomach looked pregnant. I felt awful. It was scary. And I decided to just distract myself, and that's what I did. My mom brought me some chamomile tea to work to kind of soothe my stomach. Had some medication that, like charcoal, that would help me digest, or not even digest, but just kind of feel a little bit better, because my stomach was hurting. I come home and I decide to eat dinner as well and kind of continue my binge. And the last meal of the day, I'm like, I might as well. I already binged all day, which is bad mindset, but that's what I thought. I did that, went to bed, didn't feel good at all. 6 o'clock in the morning, this is when things go bad. I woke up with horrible pain, so bad and nauseous, just so nauseous. My stomach blew up like a balloon. It was scary looking, and I had so much pain. I went into my sister's room. I started crying, and I just didn't know what to do. And this was 6 o'clock in the morning, and my mom, then she wakes up pretty early, and an hour I was just in my sister's room crying and just holding on to my stomach. So about 7 o'clock, my mom wakes up and she comes over, and she just like, what happened? And I tell her, she knew I was binging anyways, and she knows how things like that go, but this time it was different. This usually doesn't happen. So I tell her that I'm in really, and I couldn't even talk. I was in so much pain, I didn't want to talk. And I was just like, and I was ready to call, we were ready to call the ambulance because she gave me medication, but the pain wouldn't go away. I felt awful. She would touch my stomach and I would cry from pain. It was so painful. I didn't know what to do, and I was ready to call I'm terrified of doctors, for those for those of you who know. So I really was ready to just call the ambulance. I wanted them to come give me something so I would just like pass out and not feel anything. I was like, I wanted them to give me like, like anesthesia where you just fall asleep, and I'm like, I don't want to feel this pain. I don't care what they do. I thought my stomach would like rupture or something. That's like, it was so much pain and just awful. But the pain just kept coming and coming, and my mom took me downstairs because she needed to be downstairs, but she wanted to keep an eye on me. And I just was laying there in pain and lots and lots of pain, and I was sleepy. I wanted to sleep, but then I couldn't fall asleep because I was in a lot of pain. And my mom just kept giving me like tea and all this, but I couldn't drink it. It would make me feel sick. So fast forward, and sorry if you guys are kind of squeamish, but I just puked it all up. Everything. And okay, this was a weird experience because once it started all like, okay, I don't puke ever. Even if I'm like, when I'm sick with like the flu, I rarely ever puke. And I might feel nauseous, but I don't vomit. Like, it's just something that I can't do. Even when I tried purging, never worked. When I'm sick, never works. It just doesn't. I don't vomit. It just doesn't happen. But this time, and I felt it it felt like what happened was like my food wouldn't digest. All that binge I had would not digest. That's what it felt like, and it felt like it overloaded completely. It felt like my whole digestive stopped working, and it felt painful and awful and very sick. And what was weird was usually after my binges, I already know this, but I sweat. I get sweaty when I go to bed, especially like if I binged all day. I get sweaty. I don't feel, I just feel gross and disgusting. But this time was different. I didn't feel like that. What I felt was cold. I felt really cold when I went to bed, even though I ate so much food. And I was like, that's weird. It felt like the food wouldn't go down. It felt like it just stayed in my stomach area like that. It felt really weird. And I was just like, this is so weird. This is not how it usually is. This is something's wrong. And I could tell, but I just don't know what it is. And once that time hit, where it was like 6 o'clock and I had extreme pain, I didn't know what to do, and I was just like, what is happening? I still don't know what happened. It was not a regular binging reaction. Like, my body reacted really different. My stomach was in pain 2 days after my binge, and the whole week afterwards, I still felt pain. It only now, a week later, is down, and like, I'm back to normal. I don't know what it was. The recovery was really rough this time, and the whole experience. When I threw up, like, I was laying down like on my couch like this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. And my mom brings up the trash can, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna throw up. I never do, ever. Like, it just doesn't happen. I lean over, and it just started. I've never puked, like, this is so graphic and gross, but like, I've never puked that much, and I was traumatized by how much I puked and how awful it felt. Like, my body was just like, emergency, this food needs to come out right now or you're gonna like die. That's how it felt like. And I was mentally like shocked afterwards for a few days. When I leaned over and all of it started like coming out, like, it was so much, and just like, this is gonna be so like aggressive, like very like, like my body was trying to save me almost, kind of thing. Like, it was like, this food needs to come out right now, all of it. And it was just like all like, It was so much. My mom was shocked by the amount. She was like, it was like 3 liters. It was a lot. She was shocked, and I was shocked, and I was traumatized. I never want any of you to go through what I went through that night. I never want to go through it again. I was so scared to eat a couple days afterwards, and I'm still scared. I honestly think that might have been my last binging episode, because I thought I would end up in the hospital. I was scared. I kept telling my mom, I'm scared. I am scared. I'm very, very scared. I read about binges, and I knew how it could have ended, and I know how people end up in the hospital, and I know my stomach could have ruptured. And it was scary. Honestly, it was very, very scary, and I was terrified. So, yeah, that was my binging episode story, and I hope no one goes through it again. How I basically almost ended up in the hospital a week ago, and that was scary. So now things are better. I have recovered slowly, but I just hope things like that don't happen again. So yeah, that was my bad binging story time, almost ending up in the hospital. So anyways, I hope you guys get something from this and learn. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you guys want to see more of, and tell me if you ever went through something like that. So yeah, bye.